With the return of Steve Keen and Friends with a glossy new look and a new host, the favored mind of Ty Keynes decided to add a new bit of flavor to the show. A shameless plagiarization of Jimmy Kimmel's Mean Tweet segments. Is Steve a thin-skinned Ivy Tower professor or not? Let's find out.
Break, we're going to jump over to have a look at some of the meanest tweets that Steve has been getting over the last few weeks. We're going to try it out. We just found a few tweets that are about Steve.
Oh, there's no answering that one. It's dog shit and there's never been right about anything. Is he Australian? That's a good guess. Because I get trashed in Australia for predicting house prices are going to fall, and in fact they rose. What pisses me off about that is the reason they did is because I scared the pants off the government. And 1 week after I was interviewed on the major current affairs program, Kevin Rudd doubled and trebled the amount of money that the Australian government gave to first home buyers, and the Victorian government chucked another 40% on top of that. So a first home buyer in Melbourne could buy a house with zero deposit of their own money, but have $35,000 from the Australian government.
Make it right!
And much to my amazement, that caused the house bubble to keep on rising.
The wand and...
So, that's why my particular prediction came of the housing was screwed by the government doing what's called MMT, with modern monetary theory being used to maintain a Ponzi scheme, which is the Australian housing bubble.
Then you slowly blow into the center of the wand and...
So I'm guessing that's where the dog shit came from. Next one, please. We got another one there or not? I'm just going to look at dog shit all night. Here we go. Same thing. This is what's so ironic, because I made the mistake of falling for a bet with a guy called Rory Robinson. And the way this came about was that I was interviewed on the 7:30 Report, which is the major news program in Australia. With normally there'd be 4 or 5 minute segments. I had 15 minutes to myself with the guy who ran the show, Kerry O'Brien. In that, it was the first time I think I was asked about house prices. So I'd got on the major current affairs program of the country for half the show, and then I'm asked about house prices. When I said, well, I saw Japan's house prices fall by 40% over the 10 to 15 years after their bubble economy burst, and I see no reason why Australia won't have the same fate, that became the only thing I ever said, the fact about house prices. Now, the fact that I predicted a financial crisis, which happened in the rest of the world, and Australia avoided mainly because they restarted the housing bubble in a panic, partly inspired by my news coverage, this is where all this shit comes from. So the dog shit comes out of the fact that governments don't do the right thing with modern monetary theory capabilities, which they have, of course. What they do is the wrong thing. They maintain housing bubbles, and that's what Australia's been caught up in. So this is one reason I'm very, very loath to take on bets these days. So William Nordhaus's nephew asked me to take a bet about the collapse of Western civilization courtesy of global warming. I gave him a condition under which I'd take the bet on. He didn't fulfill the conditions. I said, "Buggy, I'm not going to take the bet on, because once you take on the bet, people are all about the bet itself. They're not talking about your analysis. So screw that. I don't do bets anymore." The biggest foreign on the planet got so addicted to modeling by watching his YouTube video, lost my wife, my dog, and my home. Fuck you, Steve. Well, I don't know how much pleasure he's getting out of his dog and his wife and his home beforehand. So. Thank you, Ty. I just saw where that one came from. Very clever. Very clever.
Why do I think that whole segment was just set up so Ty could insult you?
Yeah, I think that was the case. He came to the back there.
And every week.
Always the young can try, right?